Hello and welcome to Tribal Topics here on Cheyenne and Arapaho Television. Tribal Topics is a new program where we will discuss the social issues and programs that are available here at the Cheyenne and Arapaho Tribe to CNA tribal members. Joining us today is Colette Berg, and Colette, you're the director of the Cheyenne and Arapaho Headstart program. How long have you been doing that?
I've been the director here for about 5 years now.
And there are more than one centers, you were telling me. I didn't realize that.
Yes, we have a center here at Concho. Our program, we serve 133 children. And there's a center here at Concho which serves 57 children. We have one in Clinton that serves 45 children, and then one in Canton that serves 31 children.
And speaking of Canton, we have a brand new facility in Canton, and I know you're excited. We just did the grand opening to that just recently, and it was a huge deal. You could hardly contain yourself that day. Well, please tell me more about it. I know it's been a long time coming.
It's been a long time coming. Whenever I started with the Cheyenne and Arapaho Headstart program, one of our goals was to get a new facility for the Canton Headstart because they were in a very
that was in an old building.
A very old building.
I mean, and when you say old, you mean it.
I mean it. And they had a modular building as well, but it was cold in the wintertime, hot in the summertime. So that was one of my first goals, was to try to get them a grant to get them a new center. And we did apply for a grant and didn't get it. And then in 2009, we actually were able to get a grant. And so that, along with the grant that Melvin Romanos received through HUD, we were able to build our new building. It's a 6,000.
I think I heard him say that, 6,000.
6,000 square foot building.
And we're talking $1.6 million project?
$1.6 million building, yes.
And when I was talking with Melvin just recently, he said that there are plans to add on to it once it gets the infrastructure things worked out. So there's enough land right there. Right?
Yes, I'm not sure that they're going to add on to our building, but I believe they're going to build other
but there's
buildings.
Room to
to expand, probably like a child care and an elderly program.
That's
and
exciting.
Stuff like that. That is exciting.
That's progress.
That's progress, yes, it's great.
Well, I was looking at the Head Start mission here. It says Head Start's mission is to promote school readiness by enhancing the social and cognitive development of low-income children. Now, in break it down to where I can understand that really easily. And everyone out there watching, what does that actually mean? What do you guys do? Okay,
well, for us at Head Start, we really when a child enters our program, we really are enrolling the whole family, because we really want to promote the parents also to become, because we know that the parents are the primary educators, nurturers, and advocates for their children. So we work with their children, and we start out our year by providing a health screening. And what we do with our children is then, with these health screenings, we're able to do different screenings like dental and hearing, language, speech. And so then we see what level that child is on. And say if they score low in one of our screenings, then what we'll do is work with our local LEA, which is the local education agency, and they will work with us to develop an IEP, which is an individual education plan.
Working for the tribe for a short time, I'm like, man, there are acronyms everywhere you go.
There are, and in Head Start,
and most everybody knows
thousands.
them. I don't know them.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm explaining them to you. But so what we do is we work with them on these different areas, and we provide services to our children to really prepare them, because we know early intervention is key with children. So when we work with our children to really get them and prepare them so that they're ready for kindergarten and their educational journey, And so we also work with the families, because Head Start really is we believe in program governance. And what program governance means is that we have a governing board, which is the governor is the one who tells us who our governing board is, which, for example, is like personnel and finance, people who oversee our program. Teresa Dorsett, who's our executive director, who oversees the Head Start program. And so we work with them. Then for every parent who is in our program, they're automatically on our parent committee. So we have parent committees, and then we have a
Well,
policy
that's one
council.
way to get them involved. You have to
Yes.
you have to get parents involved, really.
Yes.
In order to make it work.
But really, school readiness, promoting school readiness, just comes down to preparing a child for entering into kindergarten and being ready for school.
That's so different than when I was a kid. There was no such thing. I remember I was in kindergarten, and then I don't think there was anything before that. I think maybe a few larger cities had pre-K and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this is how long has Head Start been around?
For 57 years, I believe.
Okay. But it hasn't been widespread, really. Is that right?
Well, yes, there are a lot of tribal programs, and there are a lot of state programs. It's divided into regions, and there's actually an AIAN region, which is all of the native tribal programs. And so that's the region that our Head Start program is.
And this is federally funded?
Yes, it's federally funded through Health and Human Services. And so that's who we get our funding from, yes.
We talked about, the Canton had that really great new facility. Not been to one at Concho, and I know they have seen the great work you guys are doing over there. I have not been to the one in Clinton yet. Now, are they in need of a new facility as well? Or?
Well, actually...
Well, of course, everyone's going to say they are.
Actually, after seeing the new Canton facility, all of our staff went to the grand opening.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, our Clinton staff is telling me that they need a new facility, and Concho needs a new facility. But we really, as soon as a grant comes available, we'll be applying for those to hopefully get a new facility.
So you're not saying no to those, you're just saying...
No, we're not saying no.
Let me breathe first.
But, well, no, we're just waiting for a funding opportunity, because if there's any funding opportunities there, I will definitely apply for those grant opportunities.
Earlier we were talking about this fatherhood initiative. And that is huge. I mean, that's when you talk about his family. You just can't do it by yourself. I mean, I know there are a lot of single parents out there, but when there is a mother and a father that are involved, man, that kid's got he's got a head start on. It's a jump on. You got to have. If you have a family that's there, man, you're so far ahead of the game, I believe.
Well, and the Fatherhood Initiative program is a little different, because with the Fatherhood Initiative, what we're asking for is just the male role model in that child's life. So it doesn't necessarily need to be the father that's in the home with the child, but it can be the father, the grandfather, the older brother, just whoever is significant in that child's life. And so what we do is we've had different programs like Dominoes with Dad, or cookouts, or one year they came and they colored Easter eggs with their children, and so it really helps with that partnership, with the parent partnership, having that father involved in the child's educational experience. And
now I know that, like I said, I've been to the one in Canton, and I've been to the center here in Concho, and I know that it wasn't long ago we were over there, and there were a lot of kids over there who were learning songs in Cheyenne and I believe in Arapaho both. How does that part of it play into it? The language and the culture play into it? Because these are young kids, but you really, if you're talking about language, man, you want to start teaching them young. Mm-hmm.
Well, in Head Start, we do follow a curriculum, which is creative curriculum, but we also are required to teach different languages. But we've always taught some of the Cheyenne and Arapaho language, but the tribe did receive an ANA language grant, and therefore the language program worked with the Head Start teaching staff, and they have a training for 2 weeks each year. And they study Cheyenne one week and then Arapaho the other week. And then they even send some of their staff out to work with our teaching staff to teach the children the language. And we actually find that the children learn a lot faster than the teaching staff, because they're not afraid to maybe not say the word right, or make a mistake in saying the word. So it's been really great for our program.
When it comes to this, we're talking this mission, and like I said, what do you think that you can tell people about Head Start that they don't know? That if someone just doesn't even know what it is, what do you tell them? And even people who are watching this who may not even know much about it, what do you tell them to get them interested and tell them how we can help, how you can help?
Well, as I said, Head Start is a low-income program, and we do focus to reach the low-income families. But for Head Start and education, you know, early education is very important in a child's life. And with us, I believe the difference between pre-K and Head Start is we offer so many more services because we do our health screenings, and we do develop an IEP for those children to provide early intervention and services for those children and really get them ready for kindergarten, because the kindergarten requirements anymore are a lot different than when we probably went to kindergarten. True. So it's really providing school readiness for our children.
You talked, see, I can look through my study guide here. 57 kids here, 45 in Clinton and 31 in Canton. Now, is this something that's grown over the years, or do you find that more people just don't know about it, or how the numbers been going the past few years?
Well, when I started in the program, the grant was for 133 children, and that still is what we're funded for. So what we do is the Office of Head Start actually funds the tribe for 133 children. Now, we can have 40 children here at Concho and 57 at Clinton, and we can vary the numbers, but that's how it's always worked out for our program. And at Clinton, we actually share that building with the child care. So our vision for the future would be to have wraparound services for the program, to where they would just come into the center, they would go into childcare, and our teachers would just change. They'd come in, they'd have Head Start services. Then in the evening, when Head Start was complete, then they would go back into childcare staff, so that we really have wraparound services for our children, which there's other programs in New Mexico that have those services that seem to work out really, really well for the families.
Since we have 133 children, is this something that we're looking to grow in the future? I mean, obviously, you can't have something grow too fast where you can't contain it. But I mean, is there a demand, or is there a need? Well, there's always a need, I guess.
Yes, there's always a need, but I think it always comes down to funding. I don't see that we'll be receiving additional funding through the Office of Head Start. Actually, if anything, we might have a funding cut. So that's where we would really need the tribe to support our program even more than it does now. But so I don't really see it growing in numbers. And like I said, that is just what they fund our program for. Now, with the pre-K programs, they're taking a lot of the 3- and 4-year-olds. So what we may need to focus on is the early Head Start. And early Head Start is while it's pregnant teens or pregnant mothers to 3 years old.
Well, Colette, when I told you were coming to the show, you were worried that you had enough to talk about. And it turns out this segment's already almost out of time. So I'm sure you could talk about Head Start a lot more, right? I'm sure you could.
Oh, absolutely. You know, anytime it comes to advocating for our children and our families, I just get so excited, you know, because those are truly our future leaders.
Exactly, and it's a valuable resource.
Absolutely.
And it's something you have to put a lot of time and effort into. Well, I want to thank you for being here, but before we go, I know if people want to learn more about the CNA Head Start program and they know nothing, how do they contact you guys?
Well, they can call our office at any time. The number is 405-422-7635, or we also have our enrollment application on the tribal website.
Colette, thank you for being here, and we will be back in just a few minutes with more tribal topics. We'll be talking higher education right here on Tribal Topics.
I don't know what's in second or third place in most people's lives, but I know what's in first: our children.
Native American youth are the most at-risk population in this country.
And that's why I created the Center for Native American Youth.
We are working with tribes and families to improve the lives of Native American children, and most of all, promote hope.
We focus on preventing teen suicide and shining a light on the challenges Native youth face.
Please help us build better opportunities for Native American children. Visit our website.
Welcome back to Tribal Topics. This whole show is about education. Last segment we talked about early education and the Head Start program here at the C7ATribes. And now we're going to talk about higher ed. And with us right now is Wanda Whiteman. You're the higher education coordinator here for the C7ATribes. And you've been doing that for a while, right?
Yes. I started with the tribe in 1977, and then throughout I worked for different programs, mostly education and higher education. And then I took a break and went and got an associate degree, and I came back to work in 1994 in strictly higher ed.
So the fact that you've been working with education for so long, that obviously is something very important to you.
Well, our tribal members are really intelligent, they're smart, they just need to be motivated and just given encouragement. And I know they want to get degrees, they want to go to school, they want to complete high school, they want to graduate from college. And we're here to help them, and there's lots of resources available for them.
And tell me exactly what, as a coordinator, what do you do? I mean, do you deal with students on a daily basis?
Yes. Mm-hmm. We meet with high school students throughout the year, starting in August and September, and we give them college preparation information in regards to scholarship search, taking an ACT test, starting their applications for college, information about FAFSA, and what we can provide is $100 toward their graduation assistance
and that's
expenses.
For
that can be for
cap and gown,
cap and gown announcements, and if those are paid, we can go on for senior pictures, class dues, on down, you know, and until we can help them with $100 for something.
And we were talking about August, September. That's when things start, and really, and that's beginning the school year. And depending on when you're watching this program, we're right now basically past the halfway point of this particular school year, the 2012-2013 school year. And like I said, depending on when you see this, in January, February, March, whatever. The clock is ticking, but there's still time to get things done. And what if someone has kind of, let's say people have put things off, like like a lot of us do. What are some things that really need to start happening right now?
Well, that high school seniors need to make sure they have taken an ACT test. An ACT test score is required for college admission. And if they haven't taken one, we have the dates, or they can go online and look on the ACT website to find out when the next test date is, and we pay for one ACT test for tribal members. Then they need to start with getting their parent income information by their parents after they completed their income tax report, giving a copy to the senior, and then the senior has to go on to FAFSA website and apply for a federal PIN number. Once they get the two items, the copy of their parent income tax report and the PIN number, they can then go right onto the FAFSA website, which means free application for federal student aid, and they can do their application and submit it, and the PIN number acts as their signature, so nothing ever has to be mailed.
So, but it falls on the parents to get their income taxes done. Or, I mean, I think what I'm getting here is once the parents get their income taxes done, the rest of it can be moved along fairly quickly.
Yes.
Right? But it falls on them to get that stuff done first.
And there is a lot of times when parents can't, for some reason, do their income tax in January, and they wait till the last day, which is April 15th, and that means that their child will miss the deadline.
And that's going to mess everything up.
It won't miss the Pell up. If they're eligible for the Pell, they can still get the Pell. But there's other funding, like for Oklahoma, there's OTAG, Oklahoma Tuition Aid Grant. Students that apply early are the first ones that can get that. And if they wait and apply after April, then the monies are limited. And once the monies are gone, then there's nothing left for them.
I know that we have a graduation banquet coming up at the end of the school year for and we're talking all the CNA graduates, right? So it's just kids, not just in Oklahoma, right?
All nationwide, yes.
And I don't want to throw it out, throw questions at you that I didn't ask you, but do you have a number about how many kids there are?
We have approximately every year around 110 high school senior graduates and around 40 college and university graduates.
And are we talking like nationwide, or are we talking the trade?
Nationwide.
Really? Mm-hmm. Now that doesn't seem like a large number, but do you think, what am I trying to say? Do you think that there's just a large number of unreported, or are we talking, and when we talk, you got to factor in the graduation rate, I guess, as well.
Right? I don't believe there's a lot that's unreported. We just don't have that many that graduate from high school and college.
And that has something to do with that's a whole other show, really. But for those, I think what I'm hearing is like, for those who want to make this happen, the program, the resources are there. The tribe provides the resources via your office. Talk to me a little bit more about, let's say, you cannot wait until your senior year to go, oh, I guess I should think about college now.
Okay. As a junior, we recommend that they take an ACT test. And if they're not happy with their score, then they can take it a second time. And if they don't score as well in some parts of the test, their score will never go down. It'll stay at the highest score, so they can continue to increase their score, to raise their score. And then college applications can start to be mailed after January, so there's time yet. February and March is when students will get a draft of their high school transcript, and it won't be the final one, but they can pick that up after the first semester has ended. So they really won't get it until January, February, and then they can attach that to their application for college and start mailing them out. If they're required to do essays or personal letters, they can start working on those. And we can help them with the letters.
That's what I was going to ask. I know that it wasn't that long ago. You had a workshop.
Yes, we did.
And it was like I believe a 2-day workshop mainly for high school students who are going
mainly
to college.
for high school, but it was open to any tribal member.
And I was reading about that, and it said there was help with. You would give out applications for the stuff they needed, but there was also, I thought it was like good. It said help with writing the essays.
Yes.
And letters and things like that. I mean, those
Personal
are things that people don't
letters.
think about. I mean, you think yourself as an adult, you think, well, a letter, an essay, it's not that big a deal. But when you're a high school student, that sounds very intimidating. And it sounds, they make it sound like they give it too much weight.
A lot of the scholarships that are available require an essay, a personal letter. They want to know what you're good at doing, and even if it's cultural, dancing or beading or making drums, if you put that all in the letter, some of those scholarships you apply for, you can get them by telling them about yourself.
And I know that you said, you gave me a nationwide number, about how many students we have in a tribal service area that are looking to graduate this year?
About 80 high school seniors. And probably 30 college.
Well, that is 30 college. That is not bad.
Not bad. Maybe 20.
And obviously, we'd love to grow that number.
Look at it. We have a lot at Southwestern, the local schools, OU, UCO, and then we count, of course, associate degrees, Redlands, Rose State, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma City Community College. All those are counted. Even the 2-year degrees are counted in.
I know that, like I said, it all depends on when people are seeing this program. But let's just throw this out as like a worst case scenario. Let's say someone is a senior and they haven't done a lot, and for whatever reason, let's say the income tax didn't get done and things like that. Is there a possibility, and I'm assuming that there is, if you didn't get your stuff together by the end of this school year, it seems to me that there would be a chance that maybe this coming fall semester might not be in the cards for you, but wouldn't you be able to apply for the following spring semester at the college
Yes.
that you really wanted to go to? I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's as far as these resources you guys are providing, it's really never too late, right?
No. It's not too late. They just may miss out on some funding, but the funding we offer is $1,500 for eligible freshman students. And then a lot of times they just have to make payment arrangements at the school for their parents or themselves. A lot of the students we have are not employed. So we have to encourage them to still apply using their income that they have. And a lot of it's Social Security or disability, pensions, unemployment, even food stamps can be listed, and per capita payments, if they say they have no income, the per capita can be counted as income.
I know that, just earlier we were talking about how you feel, to you, education is very important. And you went back to school and got your associates, and then you went back and got your bachelor's.
Yes,
not that long ago, right?
2006. I got my bachelor's degree.
Like we said, it is never too late.
I always tell them, you're never too old to learn, and you're never too old to get your degree.
Through these years you've been doing this, what's the things that you've seen over the years and that encourage you, that inspire you to keep doing this?
Well, I'm so proud of those that got their degrees. And like the one student that came in today, I haven't seen or heard from him in about a year until now. And then he just now told me he got his degree, and I was so happy. So when I hear about them getting their degree of any kind, and I tell them to come give us your transcript, come in, and we'll get some money for them as an incentive award for getting that degree.
Do you run into, obviously, you're not, you guys have outreach, but you're in the office a lot, I know. But do you get a lot of feedback from students? Do you get letters, or do you?
We do.
Oh, you do?
Yes. After they graduate, we'll get thank you notes, and thank you for the $100 you gave us, or when they graduate from college, thank you for helping me all the way through to get her degree. So
that's got to make you feel good.
Oh, that does. And I love my job. I love helping students, and I wish all of them would go to college. So I love working with students. I've done it for so long, and I like working with students.
Well, if someone is watching and they don't know about, all the resources that are available, how do they get in touch with you?
You can call our office, 405-422-7646 or 422-7653. Our application is on our tribal website, www.c7ATribes.org. And then they can go to programs and go to Department of Education, Higher Education, and there's 5 documents that need to be printed. That's the BIA Higher Ed application. The deadline for that is June 1st for the fall, November 1st for spring term, and then in the summer, we only help students that will attain their degree at the end of summer. So if they're going to be allowed to walk across stage in May, but they have to go back and take like 6 hours or 3 hours, we can help them in the summer.
Give us a call. No more excuses. Wanda, thank you for being here, and thank you for joining us for another edition of Tribal Topics. We'll see you next time.